but you also left the country for 4 years.
I did.
Mate, that intrigues me a lot, only because I could never do it. I'm a very home-rooted type of guy. I don't like leaving my place. How do you, as a 17-year-old, make that decision to say, okay, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go do college overseas?
Well, it actually started. It started in, I think it was 2009. My dad took me and my uncle Bill. We went over to the Spiritual Leadership Conference in July in America. So we went on a couple of weeks holiday, visited some family, but we specifically went to America to visit Lancaster Baptist Church and go to their Spiritual Leadership Conference. And I remember sitting there.
So you're about 13 at that point?
13 or 14. I was in year 8 at the time. So just started high school. Obviously didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, but I remember just going there and it was just like, whoa, like their church choir was like the size of our church congregation. I had just started, or I had been playing trumpet for, I think, 4 or 5 years by that time, seeing their orchestra, thinking, man, this is crazy. Like, I want to be a part of this. And I remember like thinking to myself then, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind going to West Coast. Obviously it was running at the time and I thought, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But I didn't really look into it much, didn't really look into any of the facilities at that time. But then 2 years later in 2011, when I was in year 10, obviously getting a bit more towards the end of high school, what am I going to do with my life? We went back to America for the Spiritual Leadership Conference. And then that's when I got in touch with Pastor Chappell's son-in-law, Peter Maud. And he and I really connected. We went out, had coffee a few times, and actually took me for a tour of the campus there and everything, and kind of just showed me a bit more what college life was like. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I want to come here and I want to study here. I didn't know whether it was going to be 1 year, whether it was going to be 4 years, but I knew it was like, look, I want to come here for at least a year, get some training, go through, like, be a part of that church, the massive church over there. And then.
But why? Like, what was, okay, besides that initial visit and the revisit, what was it that sparked it and was just like, yeah, I need to do this?
I think it was just the it was definitely the orchestra and the choir. For that, at that time, it was the music for me.
Okay.
And basically I had originally said, yep, that's what I was going to go to West Coast for. I was going to study music. I was going to excel in trumpet and piano and stuff like that. So that was the initial attraction for me, was being part of this massive orchestra. Because at the time, our church orchestra was just a couple of people my age, and some of it, it was like 5 people that we were trying to play instruments.
I think the 3 trumpeters were me, you, and Jordan.
Oh, what a time!
It was definitely a different era of music in our church. That's for
sure. Definitely. But yeah, I know initially that was the wow factor for me. It was like, well, I could be part of a massive orchestra playing for a massive choir. Like, that was what kind of sold me. And mum and dad always, they didn't force it, but they always said to me, Ryan, they said, look, we would like you to at least do 1 year of Bible college. Obviously both of them having gone through it, that's where they met. And it was never forced upon us, but it was, they appreciated it if we were to give 1 year, didn't matter when, but 1 year to Bible college at least. And obviously with dad, building relationships with people over there, like Pastor Chappell and John Getch and everyone that was over there, it was more easier for them to, I guess, let me go over there, because they knew where I was going. They knew that I'd be looked after by people. And yeah, come year 12, I submitted my application halfway through the HSC. To apply to West Coast. And I remember I had done one HSC exam already. And I came home from English 1 on a Monday, opened up the mailbox, and I had a letter from West Coast Baptist College. And I was like, all right, this could be interesting. Opened it up, and it was my acceptance letter. To Jeremy Youssef, we're pleased to advise that you've been accepted to West Coast Baptist College come next year. And I was like, brilliant. But the only thing that didn't ruin me with my HSC, because I really, from that point, didn't care. I was like, it's sold. I go, I don't need my HSC. I go, they don't need my high school transcript. We don't have the same thing. So that kind of maybe helped me not to study a bit. But Yeah,
Like you need any help there, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's true.
Okay, so you get that letter. HSC's coming to an end. The weeks and the months are closing. They're coming closer and closer to you leaving.
Mm.
What goes through your mind through that point? Do you get cold feet? Are you just excited, or what's the thought process?
I was very excited when I was in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited. I was going. For me, it was like I was going away for like a 4-month holiday.
Sure.
I packed like every bit of clothing that I owned. Like I was excited, hopping on the plane. I was pumped. But then what hits, and it happened every time. Every semester I would fly back to America. I'd be excited the night before when I'm in Australia. I'd land in LA. I'd take the bus, and what you do, you come over the mountain and you could see the campus. You've been to Lancaster, very flat, so you could see, and I would see the campus, and then as soon as I would see it, then I was like, "What am I doing here?" I was like,
Really?
yeah, every semester, and even if you talk to Soren, he went through the same thing. We would be fine up until we saw the campus, and then I was like, "What have I done?" I
Wow.
was like, "I miss home. Get me on a plane ASAP. Like, I need to head back home." So I was fine leading up to it, but then when I got there, it was hard.
So how do you deal with that homesickness?
For me, it helped having Soren there. Really, him going through the same thing. So we would both. It's pretty embarrassing, but there would be sometimes we both cried. Like I'd be 18, 19, 20-year-old boy crying in the stairwell of our dorm, just going, "What are we doing? Like, I don't want to be here. Send me back home." And I think even one time we actually were on Qantas's website and we looked at each other.
Really?
Yeah, we were on Qantas's website finding out how much it would cost us to fly home the next day.
So you guys were that that homesick, like it really
Yeah,
took
the
a toll.
first it's really about the first 2 weeks are
Okay.
the hardest because you don't have your class. The first week there's no classes, so you're just bored. Like you wake up, you don't
There's
know what
nothing
to
to
do.
occupy
There's
your mind.
nothing to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
but once we got past those 2 weeks and you're getting into classes, getting into assignments, getting to exams, it kind of just it helps kind of get over that sickness, the homesickness, and then you look forward to coming home. But yeah, those first 2 weeks, they were not fun, not fun at all.
And so you went over there for music.
Yep.
You started your first year. Did you commit to the full 4 years at the start?
I did commit to the first 4 years at the start, but I did not do anything to do with music. I got
Okay.
there,
Yep.
and then things had changed between year 10 and year 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, no, I don't think music is what I want to do here. So I just did but I knew I wanted to work with the youth. So things that happened during Epic camps, and I was like, yeah, I want to be able to help the youth group at our church. Having gone through Epic under Mark's guidance, I was like, look, I want to go there, do some study about that, and then be able to help him. And so that's what I did. So originally, yeah, I was planning on going there for music. I got there, registered, and I was like, no, music isn't for me. I want to go down more the lines of youth ministry. And I think it was, yeah, once I had registered and gone through that first semester, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to commit to this for 4 years.
Okay. And so you majored in youth ministry?
Yeah. It was like a minor. So it was a major in religious education, but I did a lot of, as my minor subjects, I did a lot of youth heavy subjects. Yeah.